Ever seen this lady pop up on your phone and tell you to do bad things?
Ha ha ha! Declan, well, I sure have.
Well, that's why we're here to talk about it. Welcome back to Eek, everybody. Today, we're going to be talking about something a little bit more real with something a little bit more silly fake.
This is something that I feel like everybody knows about, but not a lot of people know where this picture came from. Who is this creepy woman? What's her goddamn deal? I don't understand. I don't know where she came from, but I want to. And if you want to find out, you're in the right goddamn place. Bet your sweet bippy. Let's get into it, Declan.
Yeah, we got, so the sculpture itself, it is a picture of a sculpture that just kind of went viral on the internet. I guess it is from Link Factory, which is a Japanese special effects company. They were the authors of the sculpture. The sculpture has since been destroyed because of all of the panic it caused, and I guess it just degraded, ? But sculpture's gone, but we're gonna put a picture of it right here. So, yeah, this started in like July of 2018 was the first like account of people like talking about Momo, I guess.
Back when that song Broccoli by Lil Yachty was on the radio.
The first account of Momo was in July of 2018 with news articles saying that like teenagers had come forward and said that they were told to do bad things to themselves via
What kind of bad
WhatsApp.
things are we talking?
I don't think YouTube will let me say, so I guess use your imagination.
So today what we're going to be doing is reading a creepypasta that was made after this beautiful sculpture. And it's going to freak you out real bad, I hope.
Yeah, and before we even get started, I'm going to tell you real quick too, fun little piece of lore, I guess. When everything was going on, that they were like, oh my god, Momo's so bad and evil, tell your kids to watch out for her. Kim Kardashian posted on Instagram being like, watch out, Momo's gonna get your kids.
Oh, goodness.
So, with that, I'm ready to get to the story. Are you ready to get to the story?
I'm so ready, dude.
Alright. There was still a chill in the air. The morning sun was hidden behind dark rain clouds. A lone man made his way down a quiet country path. Gravel crunched under his heavy walking boots. He heard rain as it began to fall and make its way down through the trees. Suddenly, there was sounds of twigs breaking and something ran up behind him. A grumpy-looking ball rolled in front of him.
Took you long enough.
Bending down to pick up the ball, he turned and looked at the large golden Labrador that eagerly stared back at him.
I don't want to get caught in this rain, okay? So last one, yeah?
Oh, he's talking to the golden retriever. I thought the golden retriever
Oh, me too. I thought the golden retriever. Okay, so I thought this was way more experimental. Because he said a grubby-looking ball rolled in front of him, and since we're in the horror realm right now, I didn't imagine like a dog with a ball. I imagined a dog that's like squished into this ball amalgamation and it rolled up to him, and it was like this like ball-shaped dog that was all fucked up and nasty.
Yeah, I was sitting here and I was like, is the dog talking? Or like, what the fuck are we doing?
For sure.
Well, okay, so it's a man talking to his dog. All right. The man launched the ball down the path and watched as the dog raced after it. The man watched as the dog stood over the ball and paused.
Hey, today would be nice.
Without taking the ball, the dog took off down another path.
Oh, damn, best not be chasing that cat again.
The man grumbled under his breath as he broke into a slow jog. Never gonna catch your dog with a slow jog. Once he had retrieved the ball, he looked around. His dog was nowhere to be seen. At the end of the path was a large farmhouse, set far back from the country lane. He could hear soft, low-pitched whining.
Shadow, where are you at, boy?
After going silent for several seconds, an unsettling sobbing noise emanated from the tree line.
I told you to leave that damn cat alone!
The man searched the tree line as he made his way down the path towards the farmhouse. A cell phone lay at the edge of the path. As he knelt to inspect it, he noticed that it was sat in a pool of blood. The screen had been cracked. He thought he heard something whisper, "Help me," before the sobbing continued.
The hell is this?
He dropped the phone and frantically tried to wipe the blood off. A slight movement in the ditch caught his attention. A small, pale girl reached her hand towards him and shrieked. The man... It's probably exactly what it sounded like, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
The man stumbled as he stared back at the girl, unable to take his eyes off her. She was covered in blood and her matted hair covered most of her face. She was shaking violently as she stared right back at the man, the whites of her eyes piercing through her messy hair. With her breath visible in the cold morning air, she let out another wailing shriek. Sorry, headphone users. Several hours earlier, part 2. A porch light flickers on, illuminating the driveway as a car pulls up alongside the farmhouse. A young woman, Carmen, steps out of the vehicle into the cool summer night. Crickets chirp from the dark forest that surrounds the house. The wooden steps creaked as she made her way to the door. She paused and looked through the nearby window. The house was in darkness. Carmen pressed the doorbell as she continued to look through the window. She flinched at how loud the ringing was. She pulled out her cell phone and scrolled to the contact Amy. Carmen paced beside the door as she made the call. It rang several times before Carmen realized she could hear a phone vibrating. She peered back through the window and saw Amy's phone lighting up a section of the living room. Carmen let out a sigh, muttering under her breath.
What's going on, Ems?
She knocked on the door.
What, you don't like my accent? Is that what it is?
No, that couldn't be it. No.
Dude, these people are definitely British.
Why do you say that?
Every internet horror story is fucking those fuckers over in the UK. Declan, they don't have balls shaped like dogs in the United States.
Yeah, they do. Clearly you haven't been to Tractor Supply Co.
Ever, dude. Amy, better be a good reason you're ghosting me.
No reply came, and Carmen decided to let herself in. No, alright, well, excuse me. Moonlight poured in the kitchen window, flickering through the swaying trees.
Ames, where you at? Ames, what the fuck you at?
A breeze sent a chill over Carmen, and she rubbed her arms. The door slammed shut in the draft, blocking the light from the porch. Startled, Carmen flinched and inhaled sharply.
Alexa, lights on!
Slowly, the large open plan room was lit up, except for the kitchen area that remained illuminated by the moonlight. Carmen walked over to the cell phone and picked it up, wiping the dust from the screen as she noticed a lot of messages and missed calls, all from the same number. A preview of a message caught Carmen's attention. It read, "The MOMO Challenge."
The MOMO Challenge.
The floorboards above her head creaked as something moved above her. Turning her gaze upwards, she noticed a light come on just above the stairwell.
Just so you know, Ames, if you jump out at me, I'm not gonna be sorry when I hit you.
Very cheeky. Carmen rolled her eyes as she made her way towards the stairs. As she reached the bottom of the stairs, she paused. Behind her, a shadowy reflection moved across the widescreen TV. A tall, thin figure walked past the kitchen window. It walked up to the edge of the shadowy kitchen and stared right at Carmen. It remained motionless. Even with its back hunched, it loomed over the girl. Long dark hair flowed down the figure's pale body. Two large eyes peered out of the darkness, unblinking and focused. Carmen turned her head sharply at a noise from the kitchen, but nothing appeared to be moving. The soft moonlight flickered across the top of the dining table. As she turned back to make her way up the stairs, another clattering sound echoed from the kitchen, and something ran out from under the table. Carmen grabbed the railing as it darted past her.
Jesus, cat!
She let out a soft laugh.
No need!
A tree branch rattled against the window above the stairwell. As she went up the stairs, she paused on the landing and saw the cat stood at the top of the stairs. The moonlight reflected in its eyes.
Think you're funny, don't ya?
As she reached out her hand to pet the cat, it hissed at her and ran away. The tall, pale figure watched from the dark corner of the landing as Carmen looked around. The figure tilted its head to a neck-breaking degree as Carmen looked right through it. Once she was upstairs, the lights below suddenly went off. Carmen ignored it and let's ignore that. Carmen ignored it and walked along the corridor towards Amy's room, finding the door slightly open. She gently knocked on the door with the back of her hand. Looking through the gap in the room was darkness.
Amy?
Behind her, the long dark hair of the pale figure dangled from the ceiling above Carmen. Can she, not see? this pale figure, or like, why is she just like ignoring it?
Maybe she's been through some. This is nothing to her.
What the hell do you have to be through that you see, presumably Momo, hanging out, like, hovering over you, climbing on the ceiling, doing all this stuff, and you're like, yeah, what about it?
Maybe she's from Kensington, Pennsylvania.
The pale figure opened its wide mouth, and a snake-like tongue emerged, slithering towards Carmen. As she slowly entered the room, the door was ripped out of her grasp as she was pulled into the darkness. The door slammed behind her.
That one makes me feel like my skin's gonna peel off.
Does it?
Yeah, in really thin strips, and you can pull it off like.
Ugh.
And you can pull it off like one of them red cheeses with the wax around it, and you peel it off, and it reveals my fleshy skin. It's got a bunch of bugs in it. That's how that makes me feel. How about you?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel alright. Now I'm having trouble picturing what Momo's supposed to look like, because all I can picture is the weird chicken statue with boobs. but they're saying it's a tall, pale figure that also slithers like a snake, so I'm just really confused.
No, I can feel it. I feel it. I can see her like just being this like inhuman, like be like if she was in my room right now. I'm demonstrating for the audience. She'd like come through my door and like slither up my wall and like come, and then she'd be hanging right here in front of me and freaking me out real bad.
She's probably hiding underneath this very real bed behind me.
You never know.
Could be.
I'm digging this so far.
It's not as bad as I thought it was.
Yeah, it's a little spooky. I mean, dude, if I popped the melatonin and drank some NyQuil, I'd be tripping out in my dreams. I'd be peeling off my skin. I'd wake up with half skin. I'd be like Two-Face from my Batman flick.
Which one?
The one with the guy with one face, but he calls himself Two-Face for some reason.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The picture of Momo did really freak me out the first time I saw it.
Big time.
I really didn't like the picture.
Let's just say I went straight to Hannaford and bought an 18-pack of diapers. I was pissing my pants so much. I had to go to the incontinence aisle. What?
Part 3. No. The sound of metal grinding reverberated through the room as the deadbolt clicked into place.
What the hell, Amy? Right?
Carmen put the lights on and turned to face her friend.
Carmen?
Carmen's annoyed appearance quickly turned to one of concern.
Damn, what's going on with you?
Amy was shaking with dark circles around her tearful eyes. As she looked over, her friend Carmen grabbed her arm.
Are you in again?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, God.
Amy pulled her arm away and clasps the wound.
You shouldn't have come. Why are you here?
Amy walked towards the window, muttering incoherently and frantically searching for something outside. Why are we not talking about the lady crawling on the ceiling? I'm starting to freak out because no one's worried about it.
Dude, if you looked behind you right now, you'd be tweaking.
I definitely didn't just look at my camera to see if there was something there. Okay.
You sent me a message to come over. You said something was wrong.
It's like the same voice. You're like, oh shit, my bad, wrong person, gotta change my voice. You slightly got louder.
One of them is more posh.
You're like, uh-oh, wrong voice. Just slightly leans closer to the mic.
Oh, wait, dude, I was going posh with that one.
Okay,
We're talking about serious subject matter, okay?
Listen, yeah, snake ladies on the ceiling. Continue. Yeah, Carmen watched as Amy froze.
And now that I'm here, I would say this is an understatement, right?
Amy held her head in her hands and began to shake her head.
No, I didn't. I refused.
As Carmen looked around the room, she realized the extent of the mess. It was in a disheveled state. It looked like someone had ransacked the place searching for something. Carmen put her hand on Amy's trembling shoulder.
Amy, you need to tell me what's going on right now.
Amy stayed quiet for several seconds, searching for a response.
Did you see her?
With a puzzled look on her face, Carmen shook her head.
Who?
Amy pulled away from her friend and began to search her desk.
My phone. I need it. Where is it?
Carmen took the phone out of her pocket and handed it to Amy.
You left it downstairs.
As Amy searched for something on her phone, Carmen noticed loose pages scattered across the dresser table. A drawing of a faceless woman, this isn't Slender Man, caught Carmen's attention. As she picked it up, it revealed a notebook underneath. An oval face with 2 large eyes is drawn on the cover, with the name Momo literally carved into the cover with hundreds of times. Carmen looked over at Amy as she paced about, fixated on her phone. On the first page, the unknown number was written in elegantly stylistic font, with the title...
Do it on 3. 1, 2, 3.
The Momo Challenge. Before Carmen could say anything, Amy pulled at her shoulder.
Here, look!
She held the phone out to show Carmen the security camera feed, scrolling through the multiple feeds.
What am I meant to be seeing here? And you're telling me they're not British? What am I meant to be seeing here?
All right. Amy completely.
No. Pause. What kind of lady?
I'm gonna completely ignore the question, just like Amy.
What kind of lady from Fresno, California is going? What am I meant to be seeing here? Nobody. It's what am I meant to be seeing here? I'm from England of the. You guys don't have a lot of cities. You guys.
You're not from England or Fresno, California. How would you know?
Do you guys know how small your little country is? It's so tiny.
I think you just don't know English.
Your country is smaller than the state that I live in. Okay, let's a little tangent here. Square mileage of England. Okay, the square mileage of England is about, to round it out, 50,000 square miles, okay? Declan, the state that we live in is 54,000 square miles. Our state is bigger than the entire country. What are you doing? Are you doing weird stuff?
No. Look, I was trying to... Alright, nothing. Alright, are you ready to continue the story?
Yeah, I think you're doing weird stuff.
God, what I was going to try to say was why are we getting descriptions of Momo following Carmen throughout the house if Carmen can't even see Momo? This guy's...
What am I meant to be seeing? What am I meant to be seeing here?
Amy completely ignored the question. Carmen looked back at the papers scattered on the desk and then at her friend. Focused on her phone, Amy is unaware of her friend's worried gaze. Once Amy got to the camera feed outside her bedroom, she gasped and began to shake. The tall, pale figure was right outside the door, with her face pressed up against the door.
She's here.
Carmen takes the phone and looked at the same feed. There was nothing there. The hallway was empty. Amy's eyes opened... Huh?
So, she can't see her.
Yeah, that's why I'm confused as to, like, why we kept getting descriptions of, like, Momo following Carmen throughout the house.
Maybe it's like a POV shot and over the shoulder or something. She can't tell. She's British.
Amy's eyes opened wide as she looked at the screen. The pale figure rolled its head back to look directly at the camera. She smiled widely, and her jaw swung open. Its mouth opened to a jaw-breaking degree, and its snake-like tongue slithered down the closed door.
Ew.
Amy spun to face the door, watching the tongue slither up the door as she began to cry and shake violently. Ugh! That's Ew, that's actually really gross. Her legs went numb and she collapsed to her knees. Carmen held her friend. Desperately, she tried to calm her down. The tongue slithered up to the deadbolt and hesitated. Then it flicked the light switch off. Amy was now sobbing uncontrollably.
Yucky.
God, bro.
This is Carmen. It's just a bad bulb. I'm not going to let anything happen to you. I promise. A bulb?
What the hell are we talking about?
Dude, I've seen some horrendous lighting. I've had some horrendous lighting on myself. Really shows all your imperfections. Makes you feel like shit. I've never had a bulb so bad it made a tongue slither up my deadbolt.
Bro, no way I'm about to be 23 years old and scared to go to bed tonight because I'm Momo.
I'm keeping my phone on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah.
If you guys want to text me, don't. I'm not going to see it.
Carmen tried to reassure her friend. The sound of the deadbolt sliding open made both girls freeze. The room was silent as both girls watched the door slowly creep open. Nothing was there. Carmen stood up to go and turn the lights back on. Amy's phone started to ring, making Carmen jump. She recognized the number, the one from the book. The same one Amy had multiple unread messages from. Without hesitation, she answered the call.
What do you want? What do you want? What the bloody? What do you want? What do you want?
Carmen blasted angrily. All she could hear on the other end was raspy breathing. Behind the girls, pale, bony fingers curled out of the large dresser table mirror. They held on to the frame, and the pale face appeared. With dark circles where the eyes should be, the figure pulled itself through the mirror, its limbs contorting to impossible angles. It towered over Amy and stared down at her.
I'm scared!
Ew. Carmen flicked the light switch on and looked out into the hallway. Nothing was there.
Who else is?
Carmen turned back towards her friend. She dropped the phone to the ground and the screen cracked. Her gaze focused on the tall figure looming over her friend. Oh, she's cooked. She's cooked. She can see it now. She's cooked.
Done for.
Its pale skin glistening in the moonlight. The flowing dark hair reached the ground and pooled around Amy. It raised its freakishly long arm, and Amy stood up, completely focused on Carmen.
Amy, you need to come over here.
The fear was evident in her voice. The figure lifted its head to face Carmen. Its round black eyes shimmered in the light.
I'm sorry, Carmen. I have no choice.
Amy's eyes turned black as she moved swiftly towards Carmen. As Amy lunged at Carmen, the figure's thin, lipless mouth turned to a smile.
Lipless mouth? This is getting spooky, dude. I imagine the mirrors here, and then her little mitts are just like creeping out of the side, and I imagine like she's like impossibly behind the dresser, and her head's peeking up over the dresser, and you're like, there's no way your body can fit in that couple inch gap between the wall and the dresser, and you're just.
I picture her moving like, you know, the like scene in the Poughkeepsie tapes where the guy like crawls on his like tiptoes and hands.
Yep, sure do. Let's not talk about that, please.
Part 4. The next morning. The man slid into the ditch beside the injured girl. Oh, we're back with the main guy. All right, or the first guy.
The guy with the weird ball dog.
Ooh. The injured girl is going to be Carmen or Amy. Calling it. The man slid into the ditch beside the injured girl.
I'll put 50 on it right now.
Okay.
Hypothetical 50 bones.
Yeah, hypothetical
Shake
50 bones that it's going to be Carmen.
Shake on it. Put your hand to the camera.
Gotcha. She tried to say something as he helped her sit up. Her body was covered in horrific injuries. The man wrapped his jacket around her. His dog hid in the tree line and barked hysterically. The girl began to cry uncontrollably as she looked back at the path. Where? Stood on the path, Amy and the pale figure. It's Carmen, I told you! Ooh. And the pale figure stared down at her. Her friend was almost unrecognizable. Her dark eyes stood out against her pale skin. Her blood-soaked hair draped over her face. Amy held the broken phone in her hand. The MOMO challenge text was obscured as blood ran over the screen. Perfectly still, they both smiled down at Carmen. That was like way scarier than I thought it was gonna be.
It was fun to read.
Yeah, not a lot of people in the like comments are like saying that it was very scary.
Really?
Yeah, like they're like, I mean, some of them are like, yeah, like some of them are like, you know, that was kind of scary, or like the picture's scary. But like, I think the story was kind of scary. Like, all things considered, I wasn't expecting this. I thought for like a famous like what?
Someone goes, I think Momo looks like a cross between a frog and an ostrich.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's so good. Y'all realize Momo has chicken legs, right?
I don't know though. If I saw a little chicken Momo running at me, bro, I might actually like crumble down into a shell of a human.
Well, I don't know. Something about the horror that's so funny is like, even in this, they always like, it's pale skin glistening in the moonlight. It's like, you never get like a horror character. It's like, it's fucking washboard abs and tan skin was shining in the sun, you know? Why is there never like some horror villain with with rock hard abs. That's like,
Clearly, you've
know?
never played the Dead by Daylight dating sim.
nope.
That's all I'm saying about
And
that.
I don't
you
plan
put
to.
the pictures right there. You put the pictures right there.
I don't plan to, actually.
Well, you're gonna have to look it up because you're gonna have to put the pictures right there.
I hate this job. I need a new job. I hope my manager gets fired or something.
I think that we are going to have to watch. There is a movie based on the MOMO challenge that is a Hulu original. I believe it's from 2022. It's called Grim Cuddy. I think we are going to have to do a video on that. I think we have to watch it and do that.
Let's do 250 views. If this video reaches 250 views and you guys want to see us watch this movie, we will. We'll watch it, and we'll plan it where we can watch it together, and we'll set up a camera and I'll record our reaction to the entire movie, and then we can have like fun little clips of us laughing or getting scared, and we can edit it into a review. Put that on some romaine lettuce with Caesar dressing and a crouton. Do you have any closing thoughts? I thought this kicked ass.
Yeah, I thought it was way better than it was expecting it to be. For something that was based off of an image that went around everywhere, and it was 2 years later than it. I'm very pleasantly surprised with it.
It was fun. I dug it a lot.
Nice, fun, short little story.
Yeah. Anything else to say?
No, I think that's about it. I had fun. I hope you guys had fun.
Yep. Thank you guys so much for watching. We gotta go. We got stuff to do. Bye.